Namaste. This is Danny J. Lewis, also known as Enzyme Black, and definitely not known for making drum and bass. So this is a bit of a new direction for me. And in the background, you can hear an idea that I put together initially on Machine. I put the Facebook video up, and people were into it, which is nice. So it kind of spurred me on to develop the idea further. And so what you can see here is the idea developed and turned into a full composition inside Cubase Pro 8. And it's a really nice framework for taking those elements from Machine and embellishing them with new instruments and textures. So you can see what's going on here. You might notice that the MIDI parts here, I've got several that are muted, and that's because I used the subtractive structuring technique that I've demonstrated several times on videos, and it helped me put the song together really quickly. And what I'm going to do in the video is I'm going to take you through some of these elements and show you what I did. So just coming onto the mixer, there's plenty of instruments here, certainly more than I would use on my typical kind of house production, but certainly not as much as many people would be using this kind of style of music. But I think what's happening is, you can clearly tell that I'm in my 90s kind of style, and I think back in those days, with limited hardware in some studios, we wouldn't be looking at complex track counts anyway. It's only in recent years that drum and bass has taken on kind of a much more technical and intelligent kind of production technique. It's because of the fact that all these people doing resampling and layering, all that kind of stuff. You can clearly see that that's not going on here. But what I wanted to do is just to keep this kind of nice liquid, relaxed kind of vibe, and that's what's going on. Just going to focus on the stereo out just a little bit, just show you that I've got the Slate FG Grey over here, which is my bus compressor. The virtual mix rack, which has got this console emulation going on here, the Brit 4K. Then I've got some EQ going on here, and then the rather lovely custom series lift. Let me bypass all of these for you so you can see what they're doing. So that's what's happening there. And then the Slate FGX, which is doing the job of the mastering limiter at the end of the chain. So that's what's going on there. Let's take a look at the composition. Just going to backtrack and focus on this part here. So we've got some MIDI programming, and you can see here that this is the basically the kick, rim shot, and closed hat. Velocity, very important on the closed hat there, you can see. So we've got a nice variety of different levels you can see down below. This was all played in by hand and quantized. So that's what's going on there. We've also got some other hi-hats here. And you can see that we've got that nice velocity switching on there, so we've got the variation in level. There's something else you might notice on there. If I come back to the mixer, just going to show you. This is this one here. Listen to that movement, and you can also see it on the meters here. We've got the left and right panning going on. That's because of the auto pan plugin. So I just wanted to add a little bit of movement to that sound. I'm going to bypass here. So you can really feel that left and right movement going on. Back over to that arrangement, and I'm just going to progress this onto another section here. Let me highlight this. Got some musical elements coming from that Prospect Haze library. This was put together by the Raw Cuts guys, and they put together some great sound libraries. You find them on Loop Masters. So a nice little kind of laid back vibe going on here. Sampled chords being triggered from that library. Just increasing the hype a bit with some extra programming. Now I called this break, but it's not actually a break beat. I programmed that basically using another kit. And I'll tell you what, why don't we go back actually and push P around this section. Take a look at Machine. So the main backbeat is coming from this kit here. So I've got the kick, rim shot, closed hat. The rim shot itself has got reverb, so you can see a very slight amount of mix coming from here. To add some space, And the other beats over here break to, I called that kit, and this is another Prospect Haze kit. Close hat and snare program there with velocity. Let's take the loop off. And what I'm doing here on the intro is really just building up to the bass line come in. Transitional effects coming up, reverse cymbal. And there's that bass. This is coming from a Reactor instrument called Razor. Preset called Wide Wonky Sub with a bit of tempering. I can't remember what I did to change that, but I like it because it's got a real kind of warm, respaced kind of flavor to it without being overly buzzy and respacey. So these sampled elements are coming in. I do like what's going on with that flute. Once again, let's take a look at that. Bring out the channel strip and we can see auto pan once again being used to move the sound left and right. Look at the meters here. Real nice texture coming in now. Almost got an Eastern kind of vibe to it. Let me solo in on that. So, two things together. Absinthe over here. Preset called Atlantis. Now, if I just solo on that, you're going to see that, played in at different velocities over here. That's what creates that nice vibe. That was all played in at exactly the same velocity. We wouldn't have the movement that's going on with the sound. Now, that's actually used later on as well. Let me just solo over here. So I played that in, almost like an arpeggio, different velocities, quantized it afterwards. Almost got a triplet kind of vibe to it. And that works with that sample as well. So it's creating a nice kind of warm, extra layer to the sound. And here's where it strips back a bit. A little guitar kind of sample coming in there. It's mad. I've been listening to a few mix sessions and particularly book them with MC Conrad, and I'd love to hear MC Conrad on top of this, seriously. That'd sound wicked. Okay, so breakdown. Track's got a nautical flavour, it's called The Way of the Ocean, and we've got some whales coming in for a bit of a cliched water kind of vibe. Some new elements coming in here. I'm just going to say here that the drums are filtered using a high pass filter. The automation is working there to do that. Let's come back. So, actually, whilst I'm here, let me just show you something. Now, there's plenty of atmospheric effects in here, and I didn't want things to become too repetitive and samey. So, here's what's going on. You see the effects swells. This is a massive preset called Invasion. And I played this at different pitches and different durations. So, it creates the same sound, but with some variety. Played higher. You see different note lengths, different velocities. So all of the time this is in the background, just adding those nice subtle touches of atmosphere. The back onto this breakdown section right in the middle. Going to solo a couple of new elements here. And these are only there when the breakdown comes in. So there's a pad. This is Pad Shop. Fantastic synthesizer from Cubase Pro 8. This synth, it really has a vibe, it's like granular synthesis. Creates pads with a real unique vibe. That reminds me of Primal Scream for some reason. You remember that album, Screamadelica? So anyway, that one, and then also, what else we got? There's another pad here. This is massive again, and a preset called In 2036. So adding some nice atmospherics and movement. Let me take solo off, dropping into that breakdown section again. See the volume automation being used to bring up that higher pad very slowly. I wasn't really going for a dramatic build up here, very subtle. The familiar chords come back, and then we're back into the main section. other elements that we had before start coming in. It's so laid back, this, but like I said, I've really been feeling that liquid drum and bass, LTJ Bookham kind of vibe. Certainly wasn't going out to rip off LTJ Bookham. I just wanted to just do like a kind of tribute, homage, blah blah blah. And this is my first attempt at doing drum and bass, right? So one of the things I will say is actually, if I show you here on the transport, the tempo is 172 BPM. Thanks to the guys at the Underground Music Production Group on Facebook. I actually took it a bit faster. Before I was doing it 170, but I've been told by the guys that 172 or 174 is a good tempo. So I want to hear from you drum and bass producers. Let me know the tempos that you're running at. Let me know what you think about this as a producer who's never made drum and bass. I'm curious to get some feedback, so tell me what you're thinking, and whether you think it's got the right vibe, whether I should continue with this. I'm definitely into it, and I quite fancy doing something a little bit more aggressive and darker, maybe jump up kind of style as another track. So who knows where it's going to go. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments. If you have, like I said, any feedback, just let me know, and any questions, I'll see if I can get back to you.